much as you can for 24 hours, so it has a special place in my heart. Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and today I'm going to be talking about the Dewey's 24-hour readathon that is kicking off later today. If, like me, you are in British summertime, it kicks off at 1 o'clock this afternoon. For those of you who don't know, I will link below to both the Dewey's website and its Goodreads home as well. But basically, it does what it says on the tin. It's a 24-hour readathon. It runs twice a year, once in April and once in October, and basically you just read as much as you can for 24 hours. But what I really love about this readathon is that there are also challenges and games that run on the website and on the Goodreads boards as well. Yeah, it just feels like quite a community event, and it's the first, well really the only readathon. I did do the Bookly stay-at-home readathon this past week as well, but other than that, Dewey's is the only readathon that I've ever really got involved in up until now. Since I started taking part, the readathon has always been run by Heather at Capricious Reader and Andy at Estrella's, I better check this, Estella's Revenge. But I know this is going to be the last readathon that they both run, and they are handing the mantle over to someone else. I think that's being revealed today, who that will be. So that's quite exciting. It's a bit sad that they will no longer be continuing on, but I'm so glad that they have found someone just as dedicated to continue. I've been taking part since 2018, so this will be my fifth readathon, and I just really love it. I love the idea of spending a whole day just completely dedicated to reading, and this year I'm quite excited because obviously I now have this channel, and I'm hoping to use the readathon as a way to build my new Twitter account and my new Instagram account that I've set up for this channel, which I will link below. I would love it if you would follow me on either of those platforms. I'm hoping to update throughout the readathon on both of those. I usually get involved on the Goodreads boards and just trying to do as much reading in the 24 hours as I can. I know there are some hardcore readers who will stay up for the whole 24 hours, but spoiler, I'm not one of those. For mental health reasons, I need my sleep anyway, but literally I don't think my eyes would let me stay up and read. I would fall asleep with a book on my face. So my plan this year, kick off at 1 o'clock, read for 12 hours, sleep for maybe about 6 hours, and then read for the rest of the readathon on Sunday. So I'm hoping that I can stay away from social media enough to get in a good 40 minutes of reading every hour that I'm awake. But for me, it's just about the joy of reading and being part of a reading community where we're all aiming towards the same goal. So I'm not too rigid with my targets. I've done the readathon with the kids around, and when they are about, they're at the dad's this weekend, so I have an entire readathon all to myself. But when they are here, I tend to throw in some kids books, do some reading with them as well. I've even done the readathon on holiday, which might be the case for the October readathon this year. It depends what COVID decides to do to all of us. But I think this might be my first child-free readathon, so I'm super excited to just be able to really focus and give it my all. And I have no social plans, obviously, to get in the way. So yeah, I'm really excited about how much reading I'm going to get done. So in terms of my TBR for the readathon, I've got 2 books that I'm currently reading that I plan to finish, the first of which is The Silver Linings Playbook, which I am about just under halfway through. I'm enjoying this book a lot more than I thought I would. is interesting, and I was drawn in by the mental health aspect of it. So I'm struggling a little bit with the American football aspect, but I think it's got enough other storylines going on that it's still enjoyable. I'm not sure where it's going. I have a suspicion, but we'll see when I finish this up. First on my list, the other book that I want to finish is on my Kindle, and it's a NetGalley, so I've had to look up the cover on Goodreads, so I'm hoping that this will work. But it is Summer Water by Sarah Moss. I've got about 25% left to go. So this is a story based in a holiday park in Scotland, and it's showing snapshots of the different holidaymakers' lives on a very wet, dreary day in this holiday park, and I'm finding it really fascinating. And I've stayed in a lot of these holiday parks. The vibes are real from this book, and yeah, I'm fascinated to see where it's going to go. Really enjoying that. And then once I've finished those, I'm hoping to make a bit of headway in a few other books. I've decided to have a selection just to be able to switch things up and keep my interest going if I flag a bit. So the next book, well actually the next book on my April TBR was supposed to be Eat Up by Ruby Tando, which I was going to get as a digital download from one of my libraries, but when I went to check it out, someone's got it out. So I'm kicking myself a bit for not taking that out earlier. So instead I'm skipping to the next of my April TBR reads, which is Poppy Zebbright's Courtney Love. So that should be an entertaining read. And then again, switching to my Kindle. It's funny, I don't use my Kindle very much, but this is going to be a very Kindle heavy readathon, so I better make sure it's charged, because my other two reads I want to dip into is another NetGalley, and that is a copy of Scabby Queen by Kirstie. I think I requested this because I saw her on the programme for the I Write Festival, which I had bought tickets for. This is a writing festival that goes on in Glasgow every year. Unfortunately it was cancelled due to COVID this year, but I'm looking forward to reading this book. And this is the story of the aftermath of the suicide of Cleo Campbell, who was a one-hit wonder, a bit of a political activist among other things. So this is quite a broad sweeping book. It covers the decades of her life in memories of the people who loved her, the people who hated her, and yeah, it just sounds like it's going to be quite an interesting read. It's also a Scottish book, so I'm always down for that. And the third book that I hope to make a bit of a dent in during the readathon is The Gracekeepers by Kirstie Logan. Another Scottish book, and this sounds like it's going to be beautiful. It's based on Scottish myths and legends, and it is the story of a gracekeeper who is the person who lays the bodies to rest for those having a burial in the ocean, and a circus performer, and how their lives are brought together due to a storm. I don't know much more about it other than that, and I'm really intrigued about this one. And I am also going to read the whole of a Tor.com short called Faster Gun by Elizabeth Bear. This is not a typical read for me. It's for one of my Pop Sugar Reading Challenge prompts that I'm really not looking forward to, where you have to read a Western, so I purposefully tried to find the shortest book that I could possibly find for that prompt. And I used another Tor short story for a similar sort of undesirable prompt last year, and ended up reading The Lady Astronaut of Mars by Mary Robinette Kowal, and actually I really liked that. It was surprising, considering I don't typically enjoy sci-fi, so I think the Tor stories are up to a pretty good standard. So although I'm not looking forward to this one, I'm open to being pleasantly surprised. So those are the books I am planning to finish. start and read the whole of during the next 24 hours. I have been thinking, and I've never done this before, I don't know if I have the abilities or could be interesting enough, but I might film a little reading vlog as I go through the challenge. So if I do, I'll put that up as a kind of bonus video once I've edited it. Yeah, let's give it a whirl. I challenge myself while I'm still sussing out how to build this channel up. But on that note, if you've watched this and enjoyed it, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I put bookish content up every Saturday, and I'm trying to do a little bit more additional content besides books as well, so you never know what you're going to find. If you've watched to the end of this video, I would love to be able to say hi, so leave me a comment. If you're doing the readathon, I'd really love to hear from you. Tell me what you're reading, tell me where I can follow you, and let's all get involved. And so until my next video, or until I see you on social media somewhere, bye. You're on time, Kindle.